Hello, this is Jessica with On a Stack of Books, and today we are going to be doing books and beads, and we are going to be doing the book A Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryson, and we are going to do a bead craft that involves glasses. And I put these bead kits together myself. I did these months and months and months ago, so I put these bead kits together not knowing how I was going to use them or what I was going to do with them, but I had a bunch of this stuff, so I put it together. This is a photograph that my dad took, and so I just used it. So this one was for nature and out in the woods, and it works perfectly with our book, A Walk in the Woods. It says, take a walk through the woods, and this indicates that we are going to be able to spell the word woods with these beads. And see what you see. Leaves, trees, and all the beautiful greens. Does it bring you peace? So we've got our peace that we can spell. It is quiet until the owls hoot, hoot. Can you find them in the trees? Into the woods you go, get lost in the beauty. So this was one of the first bead kits that I put together, and as you can see, I definitely love being out in the woods. I love trees, and so this bead kit came together rather easily, and then it just all worked out with the book. And then as I was trying to figure out what am I going to do, I do a lot of bookmarks with these bead kits. I've done several things, but recently we went to Georgia and we did some hiking up in the woods, but we did tubing while we were there, and right at the last stop we were tubing for about an hour and 20 minutes or so, and I jumped out of my tube several times and didn't lose anything, and right at the end I lost my sunglasses, my prescription sunglasses. So that was a bummer. And so the bead kit or the bead craft that I want to do is going to be the glass little holders that come onto your glasses so that if they were to fall off your face, they would be around your neck. And so we're going to do a beaded one with super cute outdoor themed beads. And I will leave the link to the video that I saw this, but I saw a girl doing a video where you create your own little cinch so that it stays on, and I don't have to special order those little rubber bands. These are just hair ties that I got that I use for my daughters. I do believe I got these at the Dollar Tree, but they're just a million rubber bands, you know, for $1. So we're going to do that craft, that thing, but first let's look at what is in this bead kit. We've got our bookmark, we've got our wood beads that spell out woods and peace. So we've got, here is our peace, because I feel very peaceful when I am walking out in the woods in nature, specifically really nice shaded under the trees type woods and nature. I sunburn easily. I do not like cooking in the sun. Being out baking in the sun is not my idea of fun. So we'll just specify that. So we've got woods, we've got peace. These are just a really beautiful strand. They remind me of the river rocks that we found when we were in Georgia, and anybody that has, you know, up north, we don't really see this down here in Florida, but just beautiful rocks you will see in natural bodies of water. I've got a really cute collection of wood beads to symbolize our wood trees there, and then of course all the green and the leaves that we see out in the forest. I've got these wood beads that have a hole going across this way, so that's how, but they're really cute, different shapes and triangles. They could be almost like little treetops. I've got we've got some dangles here that they're one-sided, but they've got trees. These are two-sided, they have trees, and then these are like spacer beads that have leaves. So we've got those. And then the Tree of Life. I put this in here. Again, I wasn't sure how I was going to use this, if this was going to be a gift for someone else, and let them put it together, but this is basically an instant necklace if you were so inclined. And so let's get this. So this is our Tree of Life, and these are pretty common. You see them in all different colors, but that has the same sort of river rock stone as these. And then these are jasper stones. These are more heavy because they're real gemstones, and these are more those deep earthy green colors versus the bright vibrant green over here. I added this little hook in case we just wanted to make something cute for like a backpack or a purse, and then some spacer beads. And then one last thing, because we had the hoot hoot of the owls. And then sometimes, you know, you can hear those pigeons and you mistake them for owls. But we've got some cute little dangles, some blue teal leaves. We've got some brown owls, and then some blue owls, and then just some glass brown beads. And I thought those colors looked nice together. Oh, and there's one more. I keep thinking I'm done, and there's more. I've got two little fox beads. They're glass, and those are super cute, in case you are lucky enough to spot a fox. So this is what is in the bead kit completely, but like I said, I am going to be making and I don't have my sunglasses yet because I lost them. I had to order more. I had to immediately come home and get new sunglasses, and once they come in I will definitely use them, but these are just some distance glasses that I have, so we will use those to make sure that it fits. And so the first trick is going to be getting it on there, and so let's just start with that. So the key is that you want something that has a large enough hole that two of these are going to fit through. And I was really originally thinking this, but I think that is too small, and so I think we're going to be, but because this is a wood bead, it sort of works. So the idea is that, oops, one of them goes on to about here, and you pull it kind of tight, and now you've got where you're going to attach it from. And then I also have these, which are they are called wire guards. Are they? Yeah, they're wire guards. So that when you put wire on whatever it is, it's not rubbing, because this is just a rubber band, and over time I don't want it to rub. The wire will rub inside that wire guard, and so that's what I was thinking for those. I'll go back and look. I think they're about 15 inches if I remember correctly. Alright, so I was off. It's about 28 inches. So that is the length that we're going for, which is pretty long, but yeah, we can always shorten it if it's too long. So here is my bead and then my wire guard, and you can literally put it through the hole. Whoops, and then it comes up, and oh, you know what? I need a crimp bead first. Silly me. Okay. And this is going to be just a simple bead project, but very useful so that you don't lose your glasses like I did. Was not fun. I don't recommend doing it. yeah. Okay, so see the bead or the wire goes around that. Oh, it's already falling out. Gotta get that and hold on to it. Okay. So now we've got our wire and our wire guard. It's gonna wrap around. Then we're going to do our crimp bead. Oops. Up here. You know, I love making crafts and I love doing the crafts related to books, but I like it to be functional because after a while you just have a lot of stuff and it's like, what do I do with this? So I really try to think of something I'm going to use, something I need, versus just more bookmarks, more earrings, more bracelets, more whatever. And so unfortunately I need this. Let's see. So it wasn't like a brand new pair of glasses. However, prescription glasses are expensive and I did not want to dump them in a river. I was still going to use them for sure. So now, and then I'm gonna keep it sort of attached to the glasses because otherwise that's gonna want to pop off. So now the fun part is just putting them on. So I'm gonna do the first bead I'm gonna do is a little bit large because I want it to cover that if possible. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and just put a bead cap on that. This is very long. I don't know if I need 28 inches. That just seems excessively long. So that is definitely not going to work. So I think we'll go for this sort of brass color. And this just hides it so that, you know, because it's not overly pretty and it can be a little sharp on the edges sometimes because it's just meant to crimp the wire, not be a smooth bead. So, okay. So let's start with some green, I think. Oh, and we've got our river walks. Maybe I'll put those because they're so pretty closer to the glass, but I also want to keep in mind that these are heavier than the glass beads, so I do want to keep that in mind as far as where this is. I don't want it pulling on my face and being heavy. So let's see. I think if we do maybe like a pattern of these river stones with the wood, so I'll do 1 and then 2. I am not a huge fan of symmetry. For some things, yes, but for this kind of stuff, I do like to just have random, I'm gonna do a string of greens in here. But this is not going to be a pattern by any means. And then I was playing with, should I have the words in there somewhere? Should I have woods? I'm thinking. Okay, so, and then I'm gonna go do So I guess there's sort of a pattern, but it is not a pattern. Well, I guess by definition, a pattern is something that you can duplicate. This is not a pattern, but there will be a hint of a pattern. So let's see, do we want to add, and then I've got these fun little crystally, get a little bling in there. Do we want to have the woods? Do a separate bead thing where I've got like woods in peace. Okay, so we are inside now because apparently my shed is too hot and my GoPro just overheated. It didn't like that. So we're inside now. And you know, you can't undo something. So here is the completed, but I thought I would show you how cute these are and functional. Of course, this is distance glasses, so I can't see anything up close. I will say that my daughters were a little horrified when they saw this. They were like, old ladies wear that. But I think they're very cute. And like I said, it's functional. I'm not going to use this all the time, but if I was out and I knew that the potential of dropping my glasses was a thing, then yeah, I would use them. So here they are, my go walk in the woods, go tubing eyeglass chain, so that if they were to fall off, I don't lose them. So I think it turned out beautiful. I loved it. Even my husband teased me a little bit, so I told him I would make him a pair. But yeah, this is the bead project, and I think it turned out good. Thank you for watching, and sorry about the technical difficulty, but until next time, I'll be reading.